On October 7th, Russia's state nuclear energy company Rosatom announced a shocking claim that a Ukrainian drone had attempted to strike one of Russia's most sensitive facilities, the Novovoronezh nuclear power plant in the Voronezh region, right along the border with Ukraine. According to the company's statement, the drone was intercepted by what it called technical suppression means, likely a mix of jamming and air defense systems. But the unmanned aircraft still crashed into one of the plant's cooling towers before detonating. Rosatom insists that there was no structural damage, no casualties, and that radiation levels remain completely normal. The only visible trace, they said, was a dark scorch mark on the cooling tower's surface. Yet, the incident has set off a wave of alarm and speculation across both Russia and Ukraine and around the world. If true, this would be one of the most dangerous and provocative moments in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, a direct strike attempt on a nuclear facility. Moscow wasted no time framing the incident as what it called another act of aggression by the Ukrainian armed forces against Russian nuclear power plants. Russian officials have in recent months accused Kyiv of targeting energy infrastructure deep inside Russia, including previous alleged drone attacks on facilities in the Kursk and Smolensk regions. In each case, Russian authorities claimed their nuclear plants remained safe. But the very idea of drones getting close to such sites raises a chilling question. What happens if one gets through? So far, Ukraine has not commented on the latest claim. That silence could mean many things, from strategic ambiguity to simple disbelief that Moscow's account is accurate. Kyiv has repeatedly accused Russia of staging or exaggerating attacks to paint Ukraine as reckless and dangerous, especially when it comes to nuclear risks. Ukrainian officials often point instead to what they call Russia's weaponization of nuclear facilities on occupied territory, particularly the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant inside Ukraine, which has been under Russian control since early in the war. There, repeated shelling and militarization have drawn global warnings from the United Nations and the International Atomic Energy Agency about the risk of a radiological catastrophe. But if a drone really did hit a cooling tower in Voronezh, the implications are enormous. It would mark the first confirmed impact on an operational Russian nuclear plant since the start of the invasion. Analysts say that even a small explosion could have disrupted sensitive systems if it had occurred closer to a reactor or power grid connection. The fact that Russia publicly released the information so quickly might signal confidence that the plant is safe. Or it might be an attempt to shape the narrative before independent verification is possible. For the global community, the incident adds yet another layer of tension to a war already defined by unpredictability. The idea of nuclear facilities becoming targets, or even appearing to be targets, pushes the conflict into especially dangerous territory. Experts note that both sides are using drones with increasing reach, and that the lines between military and civilian infrastructure are blurring fast. The question now is whether this latest claim sparks new international efforts to protect nuclear sites or simply fuels another round of accusations between Moscow and Kyiv.